Well, let me start with this morning. At about 8 o'clock, our homicide detectives became known or familiar with an incident involving a gentleman by the name of David Harjo. Mr. Harjo was taken to Deaconess Hospital by ambulance on the 13th. He was taken there complaining of chest pains. He arrived in a very inebriated condition. He remained at the hospital for a few hours before the hospital summoned Oklahoma City Police to take him to the detox alternative center. It's an alternative center to arrest. When we take someone to detox, they have to be cooperative. There's no police reports, and that's an alternative to them gaining an arrest record. People will go there for 8 to 10 hours. They'll sleep off their intoxication, and then they're released. So Deaconess asked us to take this gentleman to the detox center. 2 officers arrived, picked him up, took him to the detox center, and the detox center refused his admittance because he was unable to walk. He was that bad with inebriation. They then contacted an ambulance. The ambulance picked him up, took him back to Deaconess, and due to further medical testing and evaluation, it was deemed that he had a condition that could be fatal. He was transported to OU Medical, and he remains at OU Medical with a life-threatening injury. We do not know the nature of the injury other than that it is of his head. He is there now and not expected to survive his injuries. Right now, the 2 officers that took him in were second shift officers that took him from Deaconess Hospital to the detox center, and then they made sure that he was transported back to Deaconess by way of ambulance. We've summoned those officers to determine what's happened. They've been summarily interviewed. The complete interview won't take place until at least 48 hours later when they have time to seek counsel. But right now, they are unable to tell us anything that has happened to cause this gentleman's injuries. We don't know what happened to him or what caused him to have such a fatal injury. He has an extremely high level of intoxication, but from what the doctors are telling us right now, that is not the life-threatening aspect of what's going on with him. He has some type of a trauma to his head, which is causing a bleeding of the brain. We don't know what caused that trauma or where he sustained it. We have no use of force has been reported to us. Again, we haven't interviewed the officers yet, but we've had no reports of use of force with this individual. The only reason to take someone to detox is because they are cooperative and compliant. If someone's non-compliant or there's a use of force that has to take place, obviously they don't go to detox, they go to jail and they have criminal charges. We had no charges against this individual at all. At this point, we're trying to determine what happened. We've asked our homicide unit to do that investigation. This is not a homicide investigation, but the homicide unit is conducting the investigation because they have the expertise to do so. And we're told that this gentleman may not, in most cases, survive his injuries. So we were looking at it as a potentially a suspicious death, and that's why the homicide unit has been asked to do the investigation. The officers have been placed on routine administrative leave due to the severity of the nature of the incident, that being a life-threatening injury.